Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how I did these name custom cutouts. There's 4 different names and I did 4 different fonts. Please don't ask me which font I used. I will show you in the videos, and the font names are going to be up in the upper left hand corner. So here are the 4 names that I did. And you'll see me just scroll through and try different fonts until I find one that I like. So you can see samples of me using these different fonts. Almost all of the fonts have come from Creative Fabrica except for my monogram fonts. I got one monogram font from Creative Fabrica, but the other ones were not. But my regular fonts that I purchased are all from Creative Fabrica. There is a link in the description. Now when I'm making smaller custom cutouts, well, let me tell you what I'm doing first and then I'll tell you that. So I'm going to change the eye to a heart. So I'm just putting a heart over the eye. It won't let me just remove the eye, so I'm putting it over it, and then I'm going to weld it together. And then the dot is going to be gone from it. So now it's got the heart instead, which I think just adds a little something fun there, something cute. But when I'm doing a smaller, these are on the smaller side there, I think they're more medium. I can't remember exactly what size width. So these are going to be like small to medium size, not like I do small, like even for 4-inch flower. Those are the hardest, and you really have to squish those names together, make them longer and squish them together widthwise to get them to fit, kind of like I did Cherish, but some even more so. Like I've done Savannah in the past and on a 4-inch flower. It's not easy, but that's how I do it. I unlock the font and then I'll make it longer and skinnier. So it does squish the name together more, but it still comes out really cute. You know, you kind of have to play with it on different names. It's not going to turn out exactly on all names. So you can, before you do any of that, you can adjust the letter spacing and make them closer together. I like some of the letters to be touching at least, and then weld them together. That way they'll cut out instead of individual letters. They'll cut out in groups. If you can get like most of the name to cut out in one group, I really like that. It's just easier to weed and stuff. To me it is anyway, and easier to attach on the different offsets, because it's just, you know exactly where it's going to go. When you're doing individual letters, it's much harder to place them on the offsets in the exact right position. So I like some of my letters to be touching. That way I can weld them together and they'll come out, you know, even if it's just 2 letters at a time touching. And sometimes the first letter will be by itself, but then the rest of the name will come out all welded. Yeah, I'll have it all welded together. Like the A will be separate, and that's great too. That just makes it a lot easier. I think it comes out looking better. For me, it does anyway. But you've got some of these fonts like this where it's all touching, but you still have to weld it together because it's not welded. It will cut individually, so you have to remember to weld those together. And I'm just going through, I'm trying to look for some fun fonts. I want them all to be unique and fun. And I didn't know exactly what size flower these were going to go on. So like I said, I tried to make them like kind of on the medium side. And then I made them all black and white and 2-layer. You can do as many layers as you want, but I would do at least 2 layers for names. I have done them where it's just 1 layer, whether it's individual letters and I put them on a braid or something. They just don't turn out as good. They just don't look as good. They don't pop as well. If you do 2 layers, it just makes them look better. It makes them pop. So I have tried different things, and yeah, it'll just kind of blend into the braid or whatever if you only do one layer of cardstock. Now with this one, I'm going to make that offset. I'm going to offset it just a little bit to try and make it thicker, because there's no way that would cut out on glitter cardstock as it was, like that, how thin that was. I would even probably have trouble with glitter HTV on that one. And the A really needed to be offsetted more than the rest of the name, so that's why I did it separately. And then I can also put the rest of her name exactly where I want it next to the A. I like to keep those first, the original, before I offset it, and then just click the I. That way I can come back and look at that and see what font it was really easily. Sometimes, I know you can a lot of times come back and look, even if it's offset, you can see the image information, but sometimes I've had some that wouldn't show me, so I always save them. I really like that A. I just thought it was really fun. And I'm trying to size them all about the same size. The thing too with different fonts is you could size them exactly the same and they would come out differently. Different letters are going to come out differently because, like on the T, the very left side at the top of the T is where it starts counting to the very edge of the A on the right side. So you're going to have, with the cherish, you know, they're going to come out looking different. So I will stack them on top of each other and see if they are looking about the same size. So I don't go, you don't have to go exactly same size up there, like the 4 point whatever. You don't have to look at that and have them all exactly the same. If you're making multiples for somebody, I like to stack them on top of each other and make sure that they're all coming out about the same size. If you're looking for multiple cutouts the same size, that way you can get more of an idea of an exact that they're going to come out looking similar. So you can see, I can't see my screen very well. It's such a small amount, small window that shows me while I'm editing. So I can't see what size I'm making them for sure. It's just too small for me. I can see the 4, but that's all I can see. So I don't know how close they all are size-wise, but like I said, just stacking them on top of each other really helps me to make sure that they're all coming out about the same. And so for the last name, again, I want to look for something fun, but different. I want to use a different A than the other one. I want them all to be unique. I want them all to feel special. And I have so many fonts, and I just, every time I get on Creative Fabrica and go down that rabbit hole, I just start downloading more and more. I just can't stop. It's just fun every year to have new fonts to use, to change it up. So I don't really have a favorite. I just go through, every time I do a name or a word, I go through and do this is what I do. I go through and do several different ones. So if somebody orders a name cutout, usually they don't pick a font. Some of them will say, oh, I like this font. But usually what I'll do is I'll do their name in like 4 different fonts and go ahead and show it offset, you know, if they want 2 layers, 3 layers, whatever, however many layers. And then I'll screenshot that and send it to them so they can see, they get an idea of what it's going to look like. And then they always have their favorite. You know, they're like, oh, I like the one on the top on the right or something. So that to me has been the best thing, is just to show them samples. Now, if I'm making a mum, I'm putting names on a mum, I usually don't send them and let them pick. Sometimes I do. It just kind of depends. If I'm doing something fun with it, like I'm changing an O to a baseball and I'm putting a grad cap on it and stuff like that, you know, I'll show them a screenshot of kind of what it's going to look like. But if they're particular about how they're wanting the name to look, then yeah, I'll send them a screenshot. But sometimes I'm just, you know, picking myself what I want the cutout to look like. So it just depends. It depends customer to customer. Some of them want me to just let me do my thing. Others, you know, really want to pick some different things. So it's the same with the mums as it is with the cutouts. You've got some that'll just let you do whatever you do. You know, they let you just have creative freedom on the mum, and then others want to pick and choose a lot of things. So it's going to be the same thing with the cutouts. And you see, I did the same thing with the A that I did on Amanda. I made it a little bit thicker so it would cut out. Because if you try to cut out on glitter cardstock a really thin line like that, it's just going to mess up. It might cut out, but trying to get it off the mat is almost impossible. Like I said, if you're using glitter HTV and you're going to iron it onto a layer of cardstock, you can go thinner, but still there's going to be limitations. And these I'm doing cardstock on cardstock, so. I really hate the how much space is still in the offset of the A there on the bottom layer. That's bugging me, so I'm trying to make it thicker. But some of these is just difficult. Just the way that A is designed, it's going to be impossible to make that solid without making the offset like huge. Or I could make an offset of an offset and then delete the middle offset, if that makes sense. You see how I'm stacking them and trying to see if they're all similar in size. Because again, I don't want them going, hers is bigger, hers is this, hers is that. I wanted them to all be kind of special and unique. Now I kind of play around. I always, okay, is this going to be the right size? I always end up going a little bit bigger than what I think, because I can't tell you how many times I thought I had a good size and then it came out so much smaller than I thought. Because again, you see the T, like I'm talking about the edge at the very left-hand side of the T, you can't really count that. And when you're thinking of the size, like let's say you're going to put this on a 5.5 inch flower, you really need to go to the middle of the T to the middle of the A, because if you go over the flower a little on the right and left side, that's okay. I would rather go bigger than smaller. That's what I've learned with cutouts. So that's what I would suggest. So go just a little bit bigger than what you think. You don't have to go like an inch or two bigger, but just a little bit. And I promise you, like, that works for me and it makes me happy. So the glitter cardstock that I'm using, the white layer, is some that I got from Amazon. I know I've showed it before, and it's in my Amazon store. It may be in the description, like a link just for it. If not, you can use the link to go to my Amazon store and find it. The sheets were 8.3 by 11.7, so they didn't have it in the 12 by 12, but it is the white glitter cardstock, and I really liked it. I also, if you didn't watch the video, I recently got some glitter, a bunch of cardstock from Cardstock Shop, and I got some 12 by 12 white, and it is true white too. So, and I think I may have that in the description too, the link to their website, but I really liked it too. So I'll order both of those for sure in the future, because I've been looking for white cardstock. You know, a lot of them that you get are really just iridescent, and it drives me crazy. I wanted white. So I'm really happy with that. And like I said, I did white over black, so it goes with most colors. And they really pop too, putting the white over the black. I really liked it. And then I'm not going to show like actually gluing them together. I've shown that before on many videos. I didn't get that part videoed, but I got designing them. And then this is where you cut it out and you pick the glitter cardstock. And I cut these out on my Cricut Maker 3. There's the glitter cardstock. So they just cut out. I didn't have any issues weeding them or anything like that. It worked out really well. And again, I'm just going to show this part where it, it shows it's measuring the mat length and all of that. And I already picked the glitter cardstock, and yeah, that's it. And then you press go, of course, on your machine. You can use, if you have Cricut Joy, you can make small cutouts. They have the longer mat, so you can make them. You can still make a decent sized name cutout. Those I've done several names on my Joy. So if that's all you've got, that's a good one to start out with too, because they're a lot less expensive. It's easy to use. I have a Cameo 4 that I'm just starting to play around with, so I'll be doing more videos with that as well. But the Cricut Maker 3 is definitely the one that I use the most. And there it was cutting, and just a second I'll show you again the end results. I thought they turned out super cute. I was really happy with them. I hope this video inspired you and helped you. Please give it a thumbs up. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Please be kind with your comments. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Happy mum making. Happy crafting, everyone. God bless.